Very good afternoon, friends, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ganesh from HDFC Securities, and we have a very interesting topic for discussion today. The topic is it time to stop your SIPs, or rather, it is not yet at the time to stop your SIPs? And welcome to this session to know more about why is it that we are saying so. And to give us a perspective on that, we have with us Mr. Amit Grover, the head of the learning and development function at DSP Mutual Fund. And it's over to you, Amit, now.
Thank you, Ganesh. Welcome all for a very interesting session on personal finance and SIP. SIP is my favorite subject, and I think it's the best finance. Before I conclude that, let me introduce the topic to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Your voice is not clear.
My voice is not clear. Is it fine now? Shyam?
Amit, have you turned on something?
Is it fine now?
There's some sort of an echo. Have you put on speakers or something?
I don't think this should be a problem. Is it fine now, Shyam and Dinesh?
We are getting an echo and a back voice. Have you put on your mobile also or something like that?
Nothing. Let me just put the headphones. Is it better now?
Yeah, this is better. Can you say something?
Is it better now?
Yeah, it is better. Can you say something now?
Hi, is it better now? I'm speaking.
It is better. It is better.
Should I log in once again if in case that's the problem?
No, since you have put on the earphone, it is better. You may continue.
I can continue?
You can continue.
Okay, perfect. So today's topic is about Jo Dar Gaya, and then there is 2 dashes. So I will not give you the answer. What is the answer? It's up to you to decide कि उसका answer उसके बाद क्या होना चाहिए. Let me talk about something about SIPs, and this is what I have been seeing generally a trend of people who have started their SIPs 3-4 years back, but for some reason, unfortunately, they are stopping their SIPs. When we did a basic research, जानने के लिए why exactly people are stopping their SIPs, these are the 4 reasons why people are actually stopping their SIPs. The first reason is the last few years returns are negative. Okay, since they are seeing negative returns in the last couple of years, they feel okay, I don't want to start with SIPs. Second is the media reports, friends, family, business people, colleagues, and things around. There is so much negativity around that you don't feel like continuing your SIP. Third is you genuinely believe that the Indian economy is not doing well and possibly might not do well in the future also. So you don't believe that markets will also do well, and you are not ready and comfortable continuing your SIP. And last but not the least, the fourth reason why we are seeing people stopping their SIP is because there has been a salary cut, or maybe because of business problems, there has been a reduction in people's business income, because of which people are stopping their SIPs. So these are 4 reasons why people are stopping their SIPs. Let me address each and every problem one by one. So let me start first by explaining in a very simple terms what SIP is and what equity is. Okay, so first I'll talk about equity SIP, equity mutual fund SIP, and then if time permits, we'll talk about debt mutual fund SIPs also. So before I even go further, let me explain you in simple terms what equity is. Unfortunately, we think that checking markets on a daily basis is called as equity. It's like today, the results of US election are coming and everybody is checking US markets and Indian markets. We think checking markets on a daily basis is called as equity. That's fine. That markets gives you price on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on an hourly basis, and every second. But technically, that's not what called equity. Equity in simple terms means you are investing into businesses. And when I say businesses, which businesses am I talking about? All these businesses are actually in front of me. When I look at the wall, I can see Asian Paints, I can see Nerolac, I can see cement companies like ACC or Ultratech. When I fall sick, I can see pharma companies like Lupin, Ipca Laboratories, Sun Pharma, and Cipla. Right from getting up in the morning, when I brush my teeth, I can see Pepsodent or a Colgate. Or when I have Atta, I can see Ashirvad ITC Atta. Or when I have Maggi, I can see Nestle. In fact, when I go to shopping, I can see D-Mart or a V-Mart or a Shopper Stop. And everything which I can see in D-Mart, they are all listed companies. I take a car, I can either see Maruti, Mahindra, Tata Motors, or when I take a two-wheeler, I can see Bajaj or a TVS or a Hero. When I look inside the car, I can see all auto ancillary companies, including battery companies like Exide and Amara Raja. When I look at the tires, I can see Balkrishna Industries, MRF, or Apollo. I'm doing the session right now on technology. I'm using a Airtel Broadband, a listed company, or a Reliance Jio, or a Vodafone Idea. In fact, the biggest picture over there is Reliance Industries, the world's biggest oil refinery company in the world. So what is basically equity investment? Again, I'll just try to simplify it. Equity investment is basically investing into businesses. We all know there are two ways of creating wealth. Either you start your own business or you invest into businesses which are there in the market. And by the virtue of that, as the businesses grow over a longer period of time, even you create wealth. In a country like India, we're approximately 138 crore population. Your expenditure, my expenditure, everybody's expenditure is nothing but the income for somebody else. And when I say income, that means it's a profit for somebody else. So basically, companies will always make profit from a long-term perspective, and that gets reflected from a long-term perspective in a share price. Now, once you have understood what equity investment is, and what I just tried to explain you that it's investing into businesses, the second point which generally comes, which are the companies I should invest into? What are the stocks I should invest into? Which are the sectors I have to invest into? And on the very auspicious occasion, and as we're coming very close to Diwali, let me give you an example from mythology to help you figure out how do you manage this risk? How do you find out good companies, good stocks, and good sectors? So the mythology is a very interesting example of Lord Lakshman who got hit by an arrow, and it was suggested that if you get a Sanjeevani booty, okay, Lord Lakshman can get treated. Hanumanji traveled all the way, he flew, and then he reached over there, and when he saw the Parvat, वो पहचान नहीं पाए कि संजीवनी बूटी कौन सी है इसके अंदर, because everything over there seemed like Sanjeevani booty over there. So he did a very simple thing. Instead of trying to figure out कि Sanjeevani booty कौन सी है, he got the entire mountain along with him. So his logic was very simple. The Sanjeevani booty is inside the mountain, and he managed the risk. So rather than worrying about which sector, which stock is going to do very well from a long-term perspective, the best thing which you can do to manage risk is basically diversify your money. And when I say diversify, basically what I mean by diversify, don't put your money into one company, because the richest people in the world have not diversified. But unfortunately, even the people who have got bankrupt, even they didn't diversify. Diversification is the best way of managing risk. And what do you mean by diversification? Put your money across various sectors. Have some money into financials, have some money into manufacturing, have some money into pharma, have some money into healthcare and pharma, have some money into IT, have some money into automobiles, have some money into NBFCs. Basically diversify your money across stocks, across sectors. And once you do that, you are basically managing risk. Now you can basically invest into stocks and diversify by two methods. Either you do your own research and buy stocks by your own self, or you can outsource it, and which is a very good way. And you can outsource it by a simple idea, which is called as an equity mutual fund. In an equity mutual fund, we all know there is a fund manager, and he's a team of analysts who basically diversify. They do research, they find out good companies, and they diversify your portfolio and manage the risk. That's typically, in simple terms, how do you manage risk by the idea of diversification in equity mutual funds. Now, the idea which everybody is talking about, stopping SIPs and maybe redeeming their SIPs, let's try to address each and every problem one by one. The only way to understand and deal with fear is to understand the history first. So let me start with history first. Let's address the first problem. That last few years, the returns were negative. Let me start with this problem. Let me start with first defining Sensex. Sensex is nothing but the top 30 companies of the country. In fact, Sensex started exactly 40 years back. When I say Sensex, in fact, it coincides with the date when actually when I was born, which is 1980. If my dad had invested 1 lakh rupee into Sensex and done nothing with that, as we speak right now, the corpus, the value of that 1 lakh would have become 4 crores. So 1 lakh and 40 lakhs, 40 years would have become 4 crores. That is the power of equity from a long-term perspective. But the problem is human beings generally have a problem. They think that the journey from 1 lakh to 4 crores would have been a straight line. The interesting point is, be it life or be it an equity market journey, it's never a straight line. You have good times, you have bad times, you have horrible times. लाइफ में भी ऐसा होता है, इक्विटी मार्केट में भी ऐसा होता है. इक्विटी मार्केट में कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है कि इक्विटी मार्केट इज जस्ट मूविंग एट अ पेस ऑफ फेरारी, and there are periods where equity market for 4-5 years it's not giving any returns. There will be periods in life also where you will feel as if everything is ending, and there will be periods you will have double the jump in your life, and that's typically how the journey of Sensex and journey of life happens. And that's the biggest problem when we tell clients that the journey of equity market is amazing from a long-term perspective. Unfortunately, they assume it to be a straight line, but reality shows it's never a straight line. So let me talk in terms of, you must actually thinking the last 40 years would have been very easy for equity markets, but honestly they were not easy for equity markets. In fact, we saw all possible things which could have gone wrong have taken place. We saw two of our prime ministers got assassinated, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. We saw 1991 economic crisis where we didn't have foreign reserves, हमारे पास dollars नहीं थे for few days of import also. We saw two global financial crises taking place, one in 2000 when the dot-com bubble took place, and 2008 में जब global financial crisis हुआ था, predominantly from US. We saw two scams taking place, the Harshad Mehta and the Ketan Parekh scam. We saw even wars taking place, the Kargil war, and also the problem right now we are facing with China. We saw many terrorist attacks, including the one which we had in Mumbai, 26/11. We saw demonetization, and today we are seeing pandemic. The idea is, we have always seen uncertain scenarios in the last 40 years. In fact, there were periods of hung government. We saw third front coming in, where we saw VP Singh, IK Gujral, Devi Gowda. The problem is that we always feel that we will invest when things are safe. Okay, the beauty is risk has always been there. Things are never safe. That's how the journey of equity market is. Now, let me try to explain you something which is very, very simple. The problem is, unfortunately, we cannot see growth because we're trying to see growth from a very stationary perspective. But try to see growth over a period of time. Let's rewind back history. Before 1980, if you had to watch a cricket match, we used to watch it on radio. उसके बाद फिर black and white TV का ज़माना आया. Then we had color TV, and then we had flat screen TVs. And today we are in a different era where you have smart TVs. Growth and change is the only constant. 10 साल के बाद, 20 साल के बाद कौन सी कंपनीज कैसे कर रही होंगी, किस तरीके से ग्रो हो रही होंगी, time will only tell. But growth and constant is definitely going to happen, whether you like it or whether you don't like it. Now, the beauty is, what is the mistake, what typically investors do that they invest into equity market? And to explain you this, let me take a very simple example. This is the journey of last 20 years of Nifty. What is Nifty? Nifty is nothing but the top 50 companies of the country. Let's say I recommended you, why don't you put your money into the top 50 companies of the country? Interestingly, from 2000 to 2003, for 3 years, Nifty ने कोई return नहीं बनाया. So during these times, you will say, यार, why did you even recommended me Nifty? इससे better मैंने FD में डाल दिया होता, at least कुछ अच्छा return बन गया होता. After 2003 to 2007, for almost 5 years, equity market was giving you amazing returns. During these times, you will feel, why do I even require money into fixed income? सारा का सारा पैसा equity में होना चाहिए, because equity is like Ferrari, क्या amazing return देता है. 2008 happened. Almost we saw markets correcting by 54%. इस समय ऐसा लगता है कि इक्विटी मार्केट तो फ्रॉड है, पूरा गैम्बलिंग है, इक्विटी में पैसा होना ही नहीं चाहिए. ओके, एंड यू ऑलमोस्ट फील एज इफ वी हैव कम बैक इनटू स्टोन एज. इतनी नेगेटिविटी होती है, देयर इज सो मच पेसिमिज्म दैट यू ऑलमोस्ट फील लाइक रिमूविंग ऑल योर मनी फ्रॉम इक्विटी मार्केट. Interestingly, in 2009, markets recovered back. Again, when we saw for 2-3 years, market gave no return. In fact, from 2008 to 2014, for 6 years, equity market gave no returns, practically zero. Then you almost feel कि ये मेरे पैसा इक्विटी में डाला है क्यों, कोई रिटर्न बनता ही नहीं है. Then again from 2014 to 2020, for 6 years, we saw decent good returns in equity market. Again in March 2020, because of pandemic, we saw a market fall of 36%. Again, we got frightened and now things have recovered back. Now, what I'm trying to say is that if you look at the entire journey, it's a journey of boring periods, good periods, bad periods, horrible periods, and amazing periods. The problem is that's the difference between a person who thinks linearly and somebody who's a businessman. A businessman knows that there are seasons in business. वो इतनी बात जानता है कि कोई भी बिजनेस में कभी स्ट्रेट लाइन नहीं होती है, अच्छा वक्त, बुरा वक्त, खराब वक्त चलता ही रहता है. In fact, you pick up any book of any businessman, he will never talk about a journey as a straight line. They'll talk about good times, bad times, ugly times, and amazing times. What this chart I'm just trying to show is the journey of a businessman. And if in case you want to be an equity investor, you have to accept this journey of a businessman where you will have ups and downs, and that's the nature of how typically equity market works. Once you have understood this, now let me tell you what is a problem that generally happens with investors. The problem with the human brain is, okay, which is our hardware and software, they give too much importance to what is happening right now. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं, आपने recently कौन सी movie देखी है Netflix में, you will remember it. But if I ask you which was the previous to previous Netflix series you saw, you have forgotten about it. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं सुबह नाश्ते में क्या खाया है, most likely you'll remember it. But if I ask you आपने कल क्या खाया था, आप भूल चुके हो. You will say, how is this to do with investments? The problem is we give too much importance to what is happening right now. The problem is we actually tend to ignore what has happened over a period of time. I love this chart and I always keep in front of me. This chart actually shows me the long-term picture. It tells me that good times, bad times, ugly times are part of the investment journey. Otherwise, I give too much importance to what is happening right now. I can vouch by it. After 2 years, 3 years, trust me, majority of us would have even forgotten about COVID because life would be very different और हम कुछ और कर रहे होंगे, हम भूल भी चुके होंगे कि COVID ऐसा कुछ चीज आया था. And that's how short our memories are. We forget, we keep on forgetting things which have happened in the past and we keep on embracing new things and we give too much importance to what is happening recently. Today, everybody is glued on TV to see elections, what is happening with Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Trust me, 3-4 दिन के बाद लोग वापस भूल जाएंगे क्या हुआ था. And that's the problem of a human brain. And that's why when you're investing into equity, your horizon should be long term and you should not give too much importance to what is happening right now. Now, once you've understood this concept of equity, let me just show you one more slide to explain you typically how the ups and downs of equity market looks like. Just a minute. So this is a simple chart just to show the roller coaster of equity market. Let's say you were an investor and I told you, okay, I'll just talk make इसको story बना के आपको समझाता हूँ. समझो मैं अपने दोस्त को बोलता हूँ, his name is Sunil, कि सुनील इक्विटी मार्केट में पैसा डाल दे, बहुत अच्छा बनता है. आई एम गिविंग यू माय पर्सनल एग्जांपल. 1981 में फर्स्ट ईयर में मुझे 50% रिटर्न बना. So Sunil feels wow, amazing returns, and even he puts money into equity market. Unfortunately for Sunil, 1982, 83, 84 ये 3 साल पैसा नहीं बनता. He gets disappointed और वो पैसा इक्विटी मार्केट से निकाल लेता है. Suddenly जैसे वो पैसा निकालता है इक्विटी मार्केट से, 1985 इक्विटी मार्केट gives 90% रिटर्न. अब obviously Sunil feels regret कि मैंने पैसा क्यों निकाला इक्विटी मार्केट से. The very next year he again puts money, but unfortunately for Sunil, 2 years equity market फिर negative return देता है, 1986 और 1987. This time Sunil faces a loss in equity market. Again he removes his money. वापस equity market 1988 में वापस return दे देता है. This time Sunil is cautious कि मैं जब पैसा डालता हूँ ना, 2-3 साल मार्केट नहीं अच्छा करता, तो Sunil is cautious. 1 साल मार्केट बढ़ता है, 2-3 साल नहीं बढ़ता, तो Sunil thinks and assumes कि 2-3 साल मार्केट अच्छा नहीं करेगा. But the interesting point is market doesn't behave the way Sunil thinks, I think, or anyone thinks. Market has a will of its own. Interestingly, market 1988, 89, 90, 91, 92 लगातार 4-5 साल बहुत अच्छा करता है. And unfortunately, Sunil misses the rally. I'll just fast forward the story forward. Look at 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, and 2007. Amazing 5 years for equity market. But very few people know before 2003, 3 years were very horrible for equity market. 2000, 2001 और 2002 ये 3 साल इक्विटी मार्केट में नेगेटिव और बहुत कम रिटर्न बने. And nobody wanted to put money in equity market. And look at 2007, when everybody wanted to put all their money into equity market. Unfortunately, we had 2008, where markets corrected by 54%. And in 2008, when everybody wanted to remove their money from equity market, interestingly, in the very next subsequent year, market gave 90% return. What I'm trying to say is that in equity market, this roller coaster will always be there. When I say 12-13% return, possibly which you can make over a longer period of time, I'm not guaranteeing you, neither I'm just making any forecast. Equity generally gives you returns higher than inflation. जो भी रिटर्न देगा, अगर मैं कहता हूँ 12% या 13% या 11% जो भी है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं होता कि 11% हर साल मिलेगा. Some years you make good returns, some year you make normal returns, some years you make no returns, and some year you also make negative returns. This is what I mean by roller coaster in equity market. So don't assume that it to be a straight line, and don't assume कि इसमें कोई guaranteed returns होते हैं. This is the nature of equity market. Once you've understood this logic, I'll give you a very interesting example. And I know a lot of people who want to time the market because we generally think हमारे में वो beautiful power है to time the market. Please remember this date called as 18th May 2009. During this day, very few people wanted to invest into equity market. Interestingly, because people thought we'll have a hung government. उसी दिन UPA 2 की सरकार बनी. Very few people had expected, and market was cheering it up, and they were very happy. We had two upper circuits. And what do you mean by upper circuit? जिस दिन market within a day 10% बढ़ती है तो upper circuit होता है. Upper circuit happened, market was stopped. Again after 1.5 hours, again a second upper circuit took place. Again market was stopped. And this is what happens. This is the price which you have to pay if you time the market. अगर ऐसे कुछ अच्छे दिन मिस हो जाए या अच्छे महीने मिस हो जाए या अच्छे साल मिस हो जाए, you will lose the entire returns of equity market. That's why it's always said time in the market is more important than timing the market. I'll again repeat this point. Please remember it. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. I know a lot of people who want to time the market. It has been shown umpteen times. It's practically difficult, not just difficult, but practically impossible to time the market. Now, let me tell you the second point, which generally people do when making mistakes when it comes to, especially to SIPs from a long-term perspective. The problem is, as human beings, we love gossip, and we also get a lot of gossip these days because of 24/7 information which comes from media, entertainment, internet, television, radios, magazines, and news. The problem is that, unfortunately, this too much of information only cripples our mind. Look at the irony. We take decisions about 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Why we do SIPs? We do SIPs for our long-term goals, predominantly for our retirement, which is going to happen 20 years down the line, or 25 years down the line, or maybe for our children's education, 15 years down the line. Look at the irony. हम 15 साल के बाद का decision जो हमें impact करेगा, वो decision ले रहे हैं based on what is happening in the media right now. All the information which you are consuming, especially in media, has an expiry date for 2 days, 3 days, or maximum 5 days. The thing which is going to expire after 5 days is basically our parameter to decide of investments which are going to matter in next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years. That's a very big irony, and that's why SIP investors should not even bother about what the media is saying, what the news is saying, or what is the information which is traveling around. You should just stay invested into equity markets, especially in equity mutual funds from a long-term perspective. This is one chart which is my favorite chart, and I hope I'm able to explain this chart in a very simple way, because if you understand this chart, you'll stop worrying about equity markets. This is the chart which explains you कि हर साल by what percentage does equity market corrects. What do I mean by that? Let me take you an example of 2020. ये साल का example लेता हूँ समझाने के लिए. What do I mean by that? In 2020, in the beginning of the year, Sensex कुछ 42,000 level पे था. Because of COVID, because of pandemic, in the fear, market corrected by 36%. Now again, as we see, look at the market, it's coming to pre-COVID levels. Okay, let's say everything is normal and Sensex comes back to 42,000 level. अगर मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ कि इस साल क्या रिटर्न बने, आप बोलोगे 0%, no return. But if I ask you, what is the fall which you experienced in 2020? Your answer would be 36%. And what do I mean by that? Highest point से लेके lowest point, कितना percentage आपका portfolio गिरा? Was 36%. There's a very interesting person called as Madame Curie. Madame Curie was the first woman to get a Nobel Prize. In fact, the first woman to get a Nobel Prize twice, and that too in 2 different fields. She says something very beautifully. She says, डर को हराना है ना, तो डर को समझो. The only way to defeat fear is to understand fear. And what do I mean by understanding fear? Understand, is the markets corrected for the first time? Let's look at history. 1990, from the highest point to the lowest point, market corrected by 31%. 91, 35%. 1992, 45%. 1993, touching 30%. 94, touching 20%. 1995, touching 30%. 96, 35%. 98, more than 30%. 2000, 35%. 2001, 40%. इवन जो हमारा बुल मार्केट था ना 2003 से लेकर 2007, वो बुल मार्केट में भी 2 साल देखिए आप, 2004 30% फॉल, 2006 a 30% फॉल. ऑब्वियसली 2008 को सबको याद ही है कि 60% का फॉल हुआ था. The beauty is, look at volatility like rain. Okay, I belong to Bombay. बॉम्बे में बहुत बारिश होती है. Look at volatility like rain. ये हर साल होती है और हर साल बहुत ज्यादा होती है. It's nothing normal. It's basically absolutely normal. If somebody who's been in Bombay for a long time and when he sees rainfall, his simple idea is हर साल होता है. Why should I even get worried about it? Somebody who knows the history of equity market, he understands the very simple thing. Equity market हर साल गिरता है. Yes, कुछ साल थोड़ा ज्यादा गिरता है, कुछ साल थोड़ा कम गिरता है, बट इक्विटी मार्केट हर साल गिरता है. 20 से 30% का फॉल तो समझ लो हर साल होता है. ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ कि इतना फॉल ना हो. Yes, लास्ट 7-8 सालों से we saw less fall in equity market, and this was not just India but globally, whether it's US, Europe, Australia, South Africa, any emerging markets. Last 10 years the fall in equity market was low, but that was just a recent 10 years phenomena. If you look back at history, equity market correcting by 25, 30, 35% is so normal for equity market. Yes, when we suddenly saw a fall of 36% in March 2020, we all of us got panicked. Why? Because हमने बहुत सालों से वो fall देखा नहीं था. That's first. And secondly, what happened? This fall took place in a very short time. If you look at history, all the falls have actually happened slowly and gradually. Unfortunately, this fall happened in just matter of 1 month. And that's the reason we all of us got panicked. एक तो fall बहुत था, ऊपर से fall बहुत fast हुआ. But unfortunately, third point ये हुआ, we were also worried about our health at that time because the scare of pandemic was so high that we almost thought that many of us might die possibly. So health problem plus markets correcting plus happening it so fast, we all of us panicked. But the only way to understand fear is that it happens always, and that's the nature of equity markets. And for all people who want a view on equity markets for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, जब तक आपको SIP करना है, the beauty is markets will fall every year. You will not see a single year where actually market is not falling. That's the nature of equity markets. Now, once you have understood this chart, let me go to the next chart. One second. So basically, the next chart is trying to explain you what are the odds of success. And to explain you the odds of success, the best thing always understand in life is ask yourself a basic question: worst से worst क्या होगा? And let me explain you a scenario. What is worst to worst? I've done a very simple analysis of last 40 years to understand worst से worst SIP returns क्या बन सकते हैं. So what I've done is I've tried to find the worst 1-year SIP return from any given month to any ending month. The worst 1-year SIP return. The worst 1-year SIP return is minus 64%. The worst 2-year return is minus 42%. The worst 3-year return is minus 24%. Worst 5-year return is 11% negative. Worst 7-year return is minus 8%. Worst 10-year return is minus 4. The worst 12-year return is minus 1. The worst 15-year, I'm talking about worst. I'm not talking about the best. I'm not talking averages. I'm talking the worst. इससे worst कुछ नहीं हो सकता, 5%. And the worst 20-year return is technically more than 11-12%. If I have a 20-year horizon, okay, 20-year horizon, even if I get the worst return in equity mutual fund, okay, in SIP, it's still better than the best returns of probably any other asset class. So what I'm trying to say is that, first of all, if you want the best returns from equity SIP from a long-term perspective, the first thing should be your horizon has to be very long. If your horizon is very long, your odds of success only increases. And this chart explains it very beautifully. आपको अच्छा experience चाहिए, अपना tenure बढ़ाओ. Tenure बढ़ाओगे, अपने आप आपके odds of success बढ़ते जाएंगे. और आपका horizon अगर बहुत ज्यादा है, तो आपको डरने का actually practically कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. The problem is, unfortunately, people have horizons of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and that's why either they have good experience or bad experiences, and based on that, they behave irrationally in equity markets. Now, to explain this further, I will take you a very simple example of a fund called as DSP Equity Fund, AMC, which I belong to. This fund was launched in 1997, 23 years back. Interestingly, I will not just go deep into it, but I'll just show you a simple, interesting falls which happened in this fund. In the last 23 years, Look at 1998, this fund corrected by 21%. 2000, this fund corrected by 69%. 2004 by 26%. 2006, this fund corrected by 31%. 2008, this fund corrected by 56%. May of 2011, it corrected 29%. May 2015, it again corrected by 23%. And obviously in March 2020, it again corrected by 35-36%. In 23 years, this fund has corrected by almost 7 to 8 times more than 20% or 25%. 23 years, 7 to 8 times it's corrected by 20, 25, 30%. You would think ये फंड क्या रिटर्न बना के देगा, इतनी बार तो गिरता है ये फंड, क्या रिटर्न बना के देगा? And let me show you what is the returns this fund has made. If you would have done a simple 10,000 rupees SIP for your children's education 23 years back, and when we say ना ये रिटर्न क्या बना के दिया होगा, वो 10,000 रुपए की कीमत क्या होती है? वो 10,000 रुपए का वैल्यू as we speak right now is 3.12 crores. I'll repeat it and let it sink inside. कि 10,000 rupees value is 3.12 crores. And the interesting point is, I don't know if you remember, in the first slide I showed you markets correcting by 50%. In 2000, when market corrected by 50%, in the entire journey, that 50% fall is not even visible. In the similar fashion, जो आज हम 36% fall से इतना घबराए हैं ना, जब हम 10 साल 15 साल बाद देखेंगे ना, वो 36% का fall दिखाई भी नहीं देगा. And that's why whatever we are experiencing right now doesn't even matter. Equity marketing correcting is the nature of equity market. That's the nature. इसको आप बदल नहीं सकते. आप कितना भी पढ़ाई कर लो, कितना भी आप रोज CNBC देख लो, रोज अपने पोर्टफोलियो को देख लो, इसको आप नहीं बदल सकते. That is a side effect, or maybe that is a fees which you have to pay if in case you want to enjoy high returns in equity as an asset class. So please try to understand this. This is the nature of equity market. I'm again telling you, if you're a long-term investor, this is how the journey will look like. But this is the kind of returns possibly you can make from a long-term perspective. Now I'll just finish with 2 slides and then we'll open the floor for questions. The idea is, this is unfortunately our world is blinded with outcomes. I love cricket. And आज first final होगा possibly between India and Mumbai and Delhi. And the interesting point is, if you look at entire commentary which happens, it happens on outcome. If the outcome is good, the commentators will say good captaincy, good shot, good fielders, good batting, good bowling and everything. And if they lose the match, everything is bad. Captaincy is bad, commentary, the batting is bad, bowling is bad, fielding is bad, everything is bad. What happens is that based only on outcome, they are deciding everything. But that's honestly not the right way of taking any decision. A right way of taking any decision predominantly is based on process. And what do I mean by process? Good process is basically, first of all, understanding your goals. For what purpose you are starting your SIP? Okay, that's the first process of starting your SIP. Is this SIP for my long term, for my children's education, for my retirement? That's the first process, which is goal-based planning. Second is basically, when you say process, is basically asset allocation, having sufficient amount of equity to create wealth, having sufficient amount of fixed income for safety, having sufficient amount of gold into your portfolio to manage uncertainty, have sufficient amount of emergency fund. That's called good process. SIP is the world's best process. And why I say it's the best process? By human beings in nature, we are slightly lazy. And why I say we are lazy? If you ask anyone that, do you want to do workout? बोलेंगे हाँ मुझे वर्कआउट करना था, but actually मेरे पास टाइम नहीं होता है. But आज सबके पास जब टाइम है भी ना, लोग वर्कआउट नहीं करते. क्यों? Laziness आ जाती है. We all know that we have to save for our retirement because most likely all of us will get retired at the age of 50, 55, maximum 60. और हमारे पास 20 साल का रिटायरमेंट होगा, 25 साल या 30 साल का रिटायरमेंट होगा. We all know we want to save and invest, but unfortunately हम करते नहीं है. We always postpone. कल करेंगे, कल करेंगे, कल करेंगे. SIP does forced saving. बोलता है कि कल कभी नहीं, आज ही सेव करो, और वो डिसिप्लिन ऑटोमेटेड फैशन में आपके अकाउंट से पैसा निकाल देता है. अमेजिंग प्रोसेस इन अ डिसिप्लिन फैशन. We also love to time the market. नहीं इस महीने नहीं, इस महीने मार्केट खराब लग रही है, अच्छा लग रही है. SIP बोलते हैं every day, every month is a good time to invest. हर महीने आपसे पैसा ले लेता है. It's an amazing process. A good process has a good outcome. Yes, it deserves success, but a good process can sometimes, for like a 2, 3, 4 years, can also have a bad outcome. It is bad luck. The process is nothing wrong with the process. It's bad luck. For a short-term perspective, good processes over a longer period of time always create wealth. What are bad processes? People who gamble and speculate. Bad process, and a bad outcome. हमेशा bad outcome आएगा. I also know a lot of investors जो बिना research किए random कुछ भी IPO में invest कर लेते हैं, कुछ भी research नहीं करते. That is, कभी-कभी उनका तुक्का चल जाता है. That's a good outcome, but with a bad process. Always have amazing processes. कहीं भी stock में invest कर रहे हो, IPO में invest कर रहे हो, please do amazing research before you're investing into it. सिर्फ returns को chase कर रहे हो, yes you can have good outcomes, but if the process is not good, it's not a good way of investing. Now let me just finish from a last perspective. I know I have my complete sympathy for people who have got salary cuts, for people who have got who have lost their jobs. Unfortunately, the best feature of SIP is that you can always stop your SIPs. Okay, that's the beauty and the feature of SIP. That since अगर आपकी income ही नहीं है, आप SIP stop कर सकते हो. But for people जिनकी salary cuts हुई हैं, maybe like 5%, 10%, 15% or 20%, or maybe business incomes have dropped, I would just tell them to do a financial planning once again. Why I'm saying financial planning? अगर आपकी income कम हुई है, आपके expenses भी बहुत कम हुए हैं. ट्रांसपोर्ट का कॉस्ट, वेकेशंस का कॉस्ट, ट्रैवल का कॉस्ट, घूमने का कॉस्ट, एंड कपड़ों का कॉस्ट, जूतों का कॉस्ट, and even Diwali gifting. So a lot of things have actually come down. So your expenses have also come down. So if you do a simple maths again, you will realize if your salary has come down, expenditures also come down. So ideally you should not stop your SIP. Even if your expenses have not come down drastically, at least reduce your SIP amount, but don't stop your SIP. Explain you why you should not stop your SIP, and typically this is one question which I often hear people asking: what is the ideal time horizon and what should be my time horizon? To explain this, I will take a very simple example. In fact, this formula was taught in class 5th maths. 5वीं कक्षा की maths में सिखाया जाता है. Future value is equal to present value into 1 plus returns. Exponential part is time. Exponential is time. Time is the best fund manager. People always say, who is the best fund manager? वक्त. Time is the best fund manager. कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो लाइफ में, गम हो, वक्त बुला देता है उसको. कुछ भी हो, time is the best healer. Time creates wealth. And to explain this, let me take a very simple example. इसके लिए आपको कोई MBA नहीं चाहिए, आपको बहुत ज्यादा IQ नहीं चाहिए. Basic simple छोटा सा कैलकुलेटर चाहिए to understand the simple idea of compounding. And what is compounding? अगर मैं आपको कहता हूं, अगर आपकी उम्र 30 साल की है, okay, or if I do a simple SIP of 5,000 rupees at 12%, okay, and this is just for example, illustration. I'm not telling you you get 12%, you might get 11%, 10%. I don't know how the future looks like. Just for illustration purpose, I'm saying 12%. If you start a SIP at the age of 30 and you continue the SIP at the age of 60, मतलब अगर आप 30 साल की SIP करते हो ना, कॉर्पस 1.52 करोड़ बन जाता है. You say, wow, amazing. SIP में इतने अच्छे रिटर्न बन जाते हैं. This is a corpus. SIP is good, but इसको 5 साल के बाद करता हूँ. Fine, do it after 5 years. But if you do after 5 years at the age of 35, the corpus what you will make right now is 84,31,000. Sometimes we ask ना कि 5 साल डिले करने का क्या कॉस्ट होता है. 5 साल डिले करने का कॉस्ट ये हुआ, your corpus has come down by 50%. And now if you delay it by another 5 years, that means you start your SIP at the age of 40, your corpus will become 45 lakhs, which is almost 70% lower. And lastly, if you start your SIP at the age of 50, कितना भी IQ हो, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आपका कॉर्पस सिर्फ 11 लाख बनेगा. If somebody has understood this basic slide ना, वो एक चीज समझ आ जाएगा उसको कि पैसा बनाने के लिए सिर्फ पेशेंस चाहिए और टाइम होराइजन चाहिए. IQ नहीं चाहिए. IQ नहीं भी होगा या बहुत कम भी होगा तो चलेगा. Problem is today people are very smart, very intelligent, very knowledgeable. They have amazing IQs. The unfortunate point is the only thing what they lack is patience. And when I say patience, people talk today about 1 year, 2 year, 3 year returns. I'm talking about decades, 1 decade, 2 decade, 3 decade. 30 साल के बाद पैसा बनता है. वॉरेन बफेट, उनके ऊपर 2000 किताबें लिखी गई हैं और वो सब कहते हैं कि वो स्टॉक्स कैसे खरीदते थे. But nobody tells the reason why Warren Buffett is so rich, because he started at the age of 11. 11 साल की उम्र में शुरू किया, आज 90 साल के लिए हैं. उनको 80 साल का कंपाउंडिंग मिला. In fact, Warren Buffett ने 99% of his wealth came after the age of 50. क्यों? Because वो पैसा कंपाउंड हो रहा था. कंपाउंडिंग के हिसाब से पैसा बनता है. इसको मैं एक बेसिक एग्जांपल में समझाता हूं. अगर आप 1 रुपए का कॉइन लेते हो ना, हर साल उसको डबल करते हो. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. 1 to 124 took you 6 years. 6 to 7 year, एक साल में वो पैसा वापस डबल हो जाता है, which is by 128. The magic is basically in compounding. And that's why for all the people who are, especially who are young, I'm very jealous from you because you get more years for compounding. The secret for wealth creation is actually compounding. It is not too much of knowledge and intelligence. Simple compounding will create wealth. And that's what I'm saying. Please think from a long-term perspective. COVID, no COVID, some companies falling, elections, budgets, ये सब होता रहेगा. Only staying away from noise. Only staying away from noise is very, very important. This is a slide which I love. You have two options. Either check your portfolio on a daily basis, SIP का value check करते रहो, या understand करो इक्विटी में उतार चढ़ाव लगा रहता है, रोज कुछ ना कुछ तो होता ही रहेगा. My only thing is to avoid all the noise. Okay, this is a very, very important principle. As human beings, we have got a monkey's brain. हमारा बंदर का दिमाग है. Don't take it too literally, but actually this is how evolution is. What I'm trying to say is that we human beings, we cannot sit at one place at one given point of time. हम हमेशा एंशियस रहते हैं. अच्छा इलेक्शन आएगा, अब क्या होगा, इस साल ये होगा, इस साल ये होगा, इस साल वो होगा. Telling yourself and reminding yourself, सब कुछ होता रहता है, सब कुछ होता रहता है, होता रहेगा. लॉन्ग टर्म में मार्केट हमेशा बढ़ेगा. I have to just focus on my SIP and be disciplined with my investment. Is this what you have to recommend and tell yourself on a daily basis? I'll just finish with last slide and then we'll open the floor for questions. Nothing in life is free. I've got an 8-year-old son, and if he says, "Papa, मुझे साइकिल सीखना है या क्लास में अच्छे मार्क्स लेके आने, पर मुझे मेहनत नहीं करनी," I would laugh at him. Similarly, for all the people who say, "I want good returns of equity market, but मुझे risk नहीं लेना," actually it doesn't work that way. If you want the SIPs to create wealth for you, if you want those amazing returns which can beat inflation from a long-term perspective and become rich, you have to pay a price for that, and the price is volatility. वो आपको प्राइस पे करना पड़ेगा. इसको प्राइस बोल दो या फीस बोल दो. अगर आप कहीं घूमने भी जाते हो, आप फीस भरते हो, राइट? ये एक फीस है. अगर आपको अच्छे रिटर्न्स चाहिए तो ये फीस भरना पड़ेगा. वो फीस क्या है? वोलेटिलिटी. देयर विल बी पीरियड्स जहां 3 साल 4 साल शायद रिटर्न नहीं भी बने या नेगेटिव भी हो जाए. देयर विल ऑलवेज बी अनसर्टेनिटी, देयर विल ऑलवेज बी एंजाइटी. इफ यू कैन पे दिस फीस, okay, you are definitely most likely get amazing returns from a long term perspective. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? लोगों को अच्छे रिटर्न्स भी चाहिए और उनको फीस पे भी नहीं करनी है. ये पॉसिबल नहीं है, बिकॉज इन दिस वर्ल्ड देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड एज फ्री लंच. अगर आपको अच्छे रिटर्न्स चाहिए तो आपको फीस पे करनी ही पड़ेगी. सो आई जस्ट रिवाइज द कंसेप्ट फॉर यू. Save as much as you can. So when you are saving, be like a pessimistic. But when you are expecting returns from a long-term perspective, be as optimistic as possible. When I say pessimistic, if you are pessimistic in your thought process, आप ज्यादा सेव करोगे, आप ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट करोगे, you'll do more SIPs, okay? Because you are pessimistic, but you also be optimistic. Yes, markets will do very well. जब मेरे बच्चे 15-20 साल बाद पढ़ाई करके निकलेंगे, and markets will do amazingly well when I get retired and when I require corpus and when I have to require money from the entire corpus I have made. So be optimistic also about that, and that's why you need to have both the thought process in terms of deciding your SIP amount. Lastly, I'll just talk about one important goal. Unfortunately, Indians uska bilkul khayal nahi rakhte. It's called as retirement. Whether you like it or dislike it, you all will retire. I will retire, and most of us are in services, will retire quite early. And thanks to medical advancement, we'll live very long. We'll live to the age of 80, 85, 90, and even 95. Few of us will even touch 100. Imagine करो 60 पे retire हो रहे हो, 40 साल का retirement है. Saving, SIPs, wealth creation कितना important है. So try to save as much as possible. I don't want to fix you on an amount. Try to save 30%, 40%, 50%, or 60%, or even 70% of your money, so that you can also enjoy your long-term goals also. Lastly, I'll just talk about few DSP funds just to give you an idea. I spoke to you about DSP Equity Fund, which had a horizon of 23 years, created amazing returns over the past 23 years. The DSP Equity Fund was basically a multi-cap fund, which had large cap, mid cap, and small cap. We have got funds in every category, and most of our funds have got more than 20 years horizon. I've got a DSP Equity Opportunity Fund, again a fund, a 20-year horizon. ये फंड 20 साल पहले शुरू हुआ था. अगर आपने 10 साल पहले इस पे 10,000 रुपए की SIP की होती, उसका कॉर्पस 1.83 करोड़ बन गया होता. लास्ट 10 साल में इस फंड ने रिटर्न्स दिए हैं practically approximately 10.8%, and from a long-term perspective, it has given amazing returns. Look at the DSP Mid Cap Fund. Again, this fund has a 14 years of track record. In the last 10 years, it has given 14.6% return. It invests predominantly into mid-cap companies. Then we have got a small cap fund. The last 10 years has been 15.2%. DSP Tax Saver is again a 13-year-old fund. The last 10 years has been 11.8. If in case you're slightly conservative, you can do SIPs in balance fund. A lot of investors do SIPs in balance funds also. Even this fund has completed almost 21 years, created a corpus. Balance fund would make obviously slightly lower returns, but with lower volatility. 1.28 crores, a 10,000 rupees SIP. And for some clients who want to diversify your money internationally, US markets ideally is the best market for investing. US happens to be 50% of the entire world market. Okay, all the brands which we possibly use, right from Apple to Google to Facebook to Amazon to LinkedIn to Twitter to everything possibly are US based companies. If you want to do SIPs in US based funds, we have got a DSP US flexible fund. It's also got an 8 years track record, and this is how typically you can manage your money. This is typically in simple terms what SIP is. Okay, the idea is very simple. When you are doing your SIP, start with the goal, be very disciplined. I've tried to explain you the risk over here, and I've also tried to explain you the process over here. If you are able to understand those simple basic principles and you're able to maintain your asset allocation, most likely you'll be able to achieve your goals in a very systematic, simple fashion. With this, I'll end the session, Ganesh and Shyam, and I'm happy to take questions from you.
Thank you so much, Amit. I think that was quite an insightful session with a lot of inputs on the importance of SIP and more so the importance of having that continuity in the investments ki SIP chalu rakhte rehna chahiye, and why so. Right. Yeah, so we do have certain questions. I'll bounce it off one by one. So the first one is from Mr. Umesh, whose query is on the diversification part, where he would like to know what about diversification in terms of market cap, small cap, mid cap, large cap. How important would these be?
Right. So first of all, Ganesh, am I audible now? Is it fine?
Yeah, very much audible.
Perfect. Okay. Thankfully, I was lucky. So let me just define market cap for you, and I'll tell you good thing with SEBI has done. Earlier, we never knew what market cap was because there were some funds which are called large cap and the portfolio was different. So SEBI has classified what is large cap, mid cap, and small cap. The top 100 companies are called large cap. The next 150 companies are called as mid cap, and the last 250 companies, which is from 250th to 500, are called as small cap. Let me just give you a very simple nutshell so you can understand it. Large caps are basically those companies who have seen economic cycles, tried, tested. They have got the best resources. They have seen cycles. That's an advantage. So like a scenario like COVID happens to them, they can manage it because they are big. They have got many products which they are manufacturing. Okay, so large caps, they have an advantage. The disadvantage is that they have already grown up. Okay, so there's a potential, there's an upside in terms of how much they can grow. Good part is that they have strong ability, good management, but the bad part is that they have already grown up a lot. Then let's come to mid cap companies. First I'll talk about the advantage. The advantage is that possibly few of the mid cap companies can become large caps and they can grow very well. The sad part is from a risk perspective is that not all mid cap companies will become large cap. Many mid caps will remain mid cap, and in fact many mid caps will even become small caps. Okay, and the problem with mid caps is that you have a promoter risk. They are generally producing one or two products, so they are very subjected to economic cycles. The advantage of mid cap is that in the long term they have a potential of giving higher returns, but they also give you higher volatility. So large caps generally would give you returns, but the volatility would be moderate. Mid caps possibly they have a potential to give higher returns, but the volatility would be even higher. Followed by small caps, they have the highest potential to give returns from a long-term perspective, but the volatility is also much more higher. So it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off between risk and return. Small cap has a potential to give the best return, but the ups and downs are also very high. So if it all depends upon your risk appetite. If you are one of those very conservative investors, I would request you to start the multi-cap fund, which has a large cap, mid cap, and small cap, all three together, or maybe be more towards large and mid cap fund. But technically, if you want to do from a financial planning, honestly, there's no thumb rule. The problem is, unfortunately, we always look for thumb rules. There are some people I know who have the entire portfolios only in large caps. Some people have their portfolios in large and mid. I know some investors who have got majority of the portfolio in small cap because they can take too much risk. So there's no thumb rule in terms of how to do. But I would rather suggest, if in case you are new to investments, I would suggest have multi-cap funds and have more of large and mid-cap funds, and take little bit of mid-cap funds into your portfolio. And if your risk appetite allows, maybe take a small allocation into a small cap fund from a long-term perspective. But honestly, there's no exact answer. It predominantly depends upon your risk appetite.
Great. Thank you so much for that. The next one is from Saundar Rajgopalan. So how does investing in equity mutual funds compare with investing into direct equities? Would that also beat inflation as well? And there's a question on the similar lines from Sneha as well. So you can couple the answers.
Okay, so you know what? Ideally, both mean the same thing. Whether you invest stocks on your own or whether you use an equity mutual fund, technically both mean the same. But, okay, I'll give you my personal example. Let's say I'm just giving a hypothetical example. Let's say I invest 20,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees every month. Okay, I've got two options. Either every month, okay, I find companies, I do research, I spend a lot of time understanding markets and find companies, and I invest into like a couple of companies with a small amount of money, which is like just 50,000 or maybe a lakh or maybe 10,000. I'm just giving examples. I'm just throwing numbers. I have to spend so much time, energy, and knowledge to basically find those stocks. Okay, if I don't have the knowledge, if I don't have the time, if I don't have the energy, then rather I would give it to an equity mutual fund where there's a fund manager very well qualified, and he's got a team of analysts. And I'll give you an example of BSP. We have got an analyst for healthcare, we have got an analyst for telecom, we have got an analyst for banking, and they spend almost years to understand one sector. So a group of analysts and a fund manager together sit together, do their research, do their analysis, and build up a portfolio. And that's how typically they are trying to create wealth from a long-term perspective. There are two options. Either you can outsource it to a mutual fund or do it yourself. I've generally seen that majority of the investors are not equipped to find those companies, neither diversify, and also they don't have the time and energy also to monitor. And lastly, they don't even have the temperament. And what do you mean by temperament? I'll take a simple example of a movie called as Munna Bhai MBBS, where Bhuman says very interestingly that if I have to operate a patient, my hands doesn't shake. But if I have to operate my daughter, my hands might possibly shake. And this is what happens when we deal with our own money, and when you see your stock correcting, emotions might come into control, and it might unfortunately force you to take a wrong decision. When you do it through an institution, which is like mutual funds, possibly you can institutions can manage emotions and risk in a far better fashion. So I'm not for mutual funds or against mutual funds or for stocks or against stocks. If I was you, and if I tell you about me, I have some allocation into good quality stocks, which I think are good, and my bulk of my portfolio is into equity mutual funds in a SIP format. So it's not stocks versus mutual funds. If in case you understand stocks, I would say have good few stocks, also do SIP mutual funds. But if you don't understand stocks, then I would say do equity mutual funds. As simple as that.
Great. Thank you so much for that. We'll just take the last couple of questions due to time constraints. From Mr. Hiten Bora, how do you decide on which mutual fund is the best one for long-term investment? Especially, just to add to that, especially when there are so many plethora of funds available.
That's a problem. Ideally, sometimes too many options confuses our mind. And in fact, sometimes you always think that we always want options because we think more options is good. But the idea is that when we see too much options, we only get confused. Okay, I just want to take an example. When I used to buy denim jeans, there was only one color and there was only one fitting, and life was so simple. Today, when I go to Myntra or shopping, it becomes so difficult. You are right. There are so many mutual funds. So everybody, there's no right answer to that. If I was you, I prefer those mutual funds which have a strong track record. Okay, the AMCs where the core business is mutual funds. The AMCs which have been in existence for a long time, so their balance sheets are stronger as an AMC. Equity management is their core expertise. I would look at the fund's track record. Does the fund has a decent, good track record in terms of managing across cycles, be it up cycle, down cycle, flat cycles? I would also look at the process of a fund. I would try to understand when a fund manager is selecting stocks. So I would request that do a little bit of Googling in terms of figuring it out, how a fund manager actually manages a fund. What is the style of investing? Understand a little bit more about fund manager. And so what is the assets which he is managing? So track record, the AMC, the pedigree of the management of the company, the AMC and everything, the track record of the fund, the alpha generation which they have done over a period of time. I've generally seen investors getting too carried away with the last 1 year return. Okay, and this is what data is showing me. It always happens, not just in India but across the world. People just get too carried away with last 1 year return. Never get too carried away with last 1 year return. Look at the long-term journey of a mutual funds. Has the fund able to consistently generate alpha over a longer period of time? That's first. Also understand it's impossible. There is no fund in the world which consistently generate alpha year on year. You'll have few years where the fund will outperform the benchmark. There'll be few years where it will underperform the benchmark. So ideally, try to select a fund which over a period of 3 years, 5 years is able to generate it. Okay. Don't be too myopic that every year it should generate. It's impossible to outperform the benchmark every year. In fact, Warren Buffett was also not able to beat the benchmark 33% of the time in the entire career. So underperformance is normal, but try to look at it from a long-term perspective. Is the fund able to generate alpha? How is the fund manager? What is the pedigree? What the asset they are managing? And how the mutual fund looks like? But it is a broad-based answer. There is no specific answer like DSP mutual fund is better or XYZ mutual fund is better. You have to do this research on your own to select it. And the good part is, which I know, that HDFC Securities also does amazing research, and they can help you with the recommended funds, which ideally are good from an investor's perspective.
Great, thank you for that. Just take the last two questions now. This one is from Meena Hari. I'm retired, but would want to start an SIP in my child's name. So, what would be your recommendation on the fund?
Okay, so you are retired and I want to start an SIP in the child's name. I think there can be nothing better than that. My son has just gone down to play, and whenever I do sessions on SIPs, I ask him to sit with me because unfortunate point is that the subject of personal finance is not taught to them. All children have to do, or in people have to do, is understand personal finance. And it's not about finance. Personal finance is more personal and less of finance. In the entire discussion, you must have not even heard me speaking anything about earnings, growth, GDP, inflation, earnings, any jargon which you can do. If you can start a SIP for him and you can explain to your child why you're starting this SIP and you're doing it for a horizon for at least 7 years plus, at least 7. When I say 7 means, doesn't mean that after 7 you have to remove your money, but at least 7 years. I would request you to keep it for like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. If in case you can inculcate that habit in a child about SIP and a disciplined way of investing, I think that's the best gift you can ever give it to a child. Because once he understands the power of SIP, there is nothing more magical in this world than SIP, because that's the best invention in the world. We always say that discipline, hard work, and patience are the key to success. SIP is exactly like that. Discipline, investing on a monthly basis, patience, thinking from a 10-year perspective, and then in a very automated fashion, imagining that it's forced way of investing in an automated fashion happening. If you're doing it for your child, I think that's the best thing which you can do for your child.
Great, thank you so much for that. There is one more question from one gentleman on HDFC AMC. Sorry, we will not be able to take this at the moment. Would request you to get in touch with your relationship manager or write to us. We will make sure that your query on this particular AMC and the fund is definitely addressed. And here we go for the last question. Okay. Suppose if I want to stop or hold my SIP, are there any penalty charges incurred, and can the SIP be resumed anytime?
That's the beauty of an SIP. That's the magic of SIP, that it is helping you to save. It's motivating you to invest on a monthly basis. But for some reason, God forbid, maybe there is some problem or some challenge which you have, unlike a home EMI where the bank will take away your property or your asset, SIPs, you can always pause your SIP. You can pause your SIP, you can stop your SIPs, and then even again start your SIP in the same fund or maybe a different fund. That's the benefit of an SIP. Stopping an SIP has got no penalty charges. You can stop your SIP with your free will. There's also a feature called as pausing. You can pause your SIP for like 3 months, 6 months. You can stop your SIP, and that's the beauty. You can stop it with a simple click of a button. But my only problem is that sometimes the advantage becomes the biggest disadvantage. Since the ease of transaction is so simple that you can stop it, unfortunately, even a small problem happens, I see people stopping it. And sometimes that's the irony of life. Something which should be advantageous becomes a disadvantage. If in case there's a genuine reason to it, please stop it. But if there's no genuine reason to it, the reason is just because I don't know, you're stopping it, then I think I would not recommend you. But if there's a genuine reason because your salary has cut down drastically, or maybe there's some problem financially, then I think it makes sense to pause your or stop your SIP.
Great, thank you so much. We will have to come to the end of the session due to time scarcity. Thank you so much, dear investors, for sparing your evening with us. We do hope that you found this session very insightful, very helpful in planning and continuing with your investments. Thank you so much, Amit, and the team of DSP Mutual Fund for a wonderful, wonderful session. And I hand it back over to you for your closing remarks.
That's it, guys. I hope you found this session useful, meaningful. After many years of complexity, I've realized that simple ideas are far better than complex ideas. There is nothing more powerful than SIP. After understanding this, from the last 10 years, me and my wife are only doing SIPs. Unfortunately, I'm in this industry, so I sometimes check my portfolio. But I think my wife is much more happy and lucky because it's been 10 years she's doing her SIP and she has never checked her portfolio. And she understands a very simple idea. If she gets a salary hike or if she gets a promotion, she only increases her SIP amount, and it's an automatic fashion. She only has faith. If you have faith, you will make returns. If you don't have faith, you will just check your portfolio on a daily basis. So have faith the way you have faith on gold or real estate, where you don't check the values on daily basis. Have the similar kind of faith in SIP, equity mutual funds. Just stay invested and do nothing. Most likely, and I'm very sure you will create wealth if your horizons are very long. Thanks for patiently listening. I hope you found the session useful. And thank you, HDFC Securities, Ganesh and Shyam, for giving DSP an opportunity to talk to your clients. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We can close the call, Shyam.